Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on another video. Today we're doing a toy hunt, our first toy hunt of 2022. It's been a long time since we've done a toy hunt. Thank you for joining us. And today we're at the South Louisville Toy Mall, and it's one of our favorite places in our area to go to. Lots of cool stuff, and you just never know what you're going to see at this place. So highly recommend it if you're in our area. Check it out. Here you can see some of the display cases we're showing. Some Star Wars figures and bunch of random figures in this case.
The Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow set right there.
Oh,
$90.
Yeah. Isn't that a Pulse exclusive set? I believe it is.
Yeah. Bunch of Hot Wheels in that case. Some more Hot Wheels. And some more cars. Just in general. And here's a case with a bunch of figures.
Bunch of Black Series figures in this case.
Yeah, some G.I. Joe classified. And these are the cases we like to call scalper cases because they get the brand new figures, like right there, the Jedi Patrol Stormtrooper, and resell them here for double the price, if not more.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Used to be able to find some good deals, and you still can in this place, but a lot of the cases have been taken over by scalpers who just go out and hunt the current market and fill their cases up with stuff that should be in stores. Now here's a super rare IG-11 Kenner 12-inch figure. You don't see that every day, and it's, of course, it's really expensive. And a lot of good vintage stuff in this case.
Yeah, we got some graded vintage figures. Like there's a graded Stormtrooper right there. There's a graded AT-AT driver in the back there. There's a graded R2-D2. There's a giant Chewbacca and a giant Mysterio. See, that Chewbacca is like 85, did it say?
I believe so. And IG-11 was like several $100s.
Some TIE Fighter model kits, it looks like right there. They look pretty old. And a vintage Millennium Falcon for $225.
Looks like it's in pretty good shape and it's complete. And a vintage 18 board game, which looks pretty cool.
Then we have the Vintage Collection Kmart exclusive Scanning Crew for $80. And then the other Scanning Crew says 23.
Yeah, that's not how much it is. That's like the booth number, I think. I think they're both $80, which is just crazy because those sets have really gone up in the last couple of years.
Here's some like 12-inch figures. That speeder bike was pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know if that one. I don't think that one was a Kenner, but some of those Stormtroopers in there are those old Kenner figures, I believe.
And above we have some Vintage Collection and some older like Legacy Collection and some old vehicles there. There's a Droids Boba Fett in the back. And we got that 4POA line and then some Retro Collection. More vintage little ships. Here's a case with some figures. We got some Marvel Legends and Black Series. Masters of the Universe. There's an Anakin up there. And a Han Solo. There's a Rebel Trooper Hoth. Here we have a bunch of vintage figures.
Yeah, really cool to see these vintage figures for sale. Some of them you can get for a decent price.
The DL-44.
Yeah, that's definitely a vintage Kenner gun there. Really cool. You don't see those every day.
Star Wars cereal. Looks like it's for Revenge of the Sith or something.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's from.
2005.
Then there's some Taco Bell boxes. I guess they're like meal boxes or something, or maybe kids' meal boxes from the special editions from 1997. And here's a 3D chess set from Star Trek The Next Generation. Really cool looking. The chess pieces are really cool on that. I've never seen that before.
There's an R2-D2 watch. And we have a vintage Hoth playset. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if it has all the pieces or not. It seems like that set came with a few more pieces, maybe.
Some G.I. Joes back there. We got Storm Shadow from the movie. And another vintage Millennium Falcon.
This time, Power of the Force Millennium Falcon, a little bit bigger.
And I think it couldn't make out the price. But it does say 20% off for stuff that doesn't say firm.
Here's some vintage record story sets, droids, and then there's the Chewbacca story too. And I've never heard those. I have the original ones from the movies, but I've never heard the other stories that they did.
Hollow 13 glass. Pretty cool.
For $1, that's pretty cool.
And here's one of those cases that just, random, 5POA or vintage collection or just random loose figures and minifigures from Lego and stuff. These cases are pretty cool. You can find some, random stuff in here for your collection. Some, like, older figures and stuff like that. There's a bunch of random stuff down there. And then some more loose figures.
Here's a nice 12-inch C-3PO that is, like, plated. Looks nice.
And then we have a Mando and Grogu.
With the mud,
yeah.
The mud horn scene, I guess.
And this looks like, I would say scalper case, but it's really not, because they are taking stuff that's new in stores, but they're not selling it for double the price. They're actually selling it for a decent price. So it's nice to see booths like this. That General Grievous was pretty high, though. It was 50, but you don't see those a lot.
Yeah, GameStop has been getting those back in as a restocks for $34.99. So I wouldn't pay secondary prices for General Grievous. You should search GameStop stores. And it looks like Vader has fallen down there.
And a Stormtrooper.
And what do we have in the back? What is that? Mr. Spock?
What? What is that thing?
Mr. Spock without his uniform.
Oh, and here we have some...
in his underwear.
Here's some vintage figures on card and some loose.
Oh, that is really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty
I love
nice.
that Imperial Royal Guard. And an Ewok combat glider. You don't see that very often.
There's a bunch of vintage stuff in this case. It's Han Solo there. It's one of those little vehicles that they sold. It's an R2-D2.
And the remote control R2-D2 from, what, 1978, 79, whenever they came out with that.
Carded Weequay for $250. It's an ATST model kit back there. Going down, we have a carded ATST driver. Vintage, that's pretty cool, for $200. There's a Rancor. The Han Solo back there, a Black Series. We got some stretch Darth Vader. It says Lord Darth Vader. There's a
low gray Ewok. That's cool
for $200. And then some loose vintage figures. I see a Chewbacca in there. There's some Mace Windu.
A couple Obi-Wans without his cape.
Yeah. And some more carded vintage figures. It's pretty cool.
General Madine. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You don't see that figure very often.
Hoth Wampa Cave for $160.
And it's a micro, what do they call those, micro machines?
Micro machines. Oh, a Cloud Car for $250. It's pretty cool. And there's a Rebel Transport down there. Ooh, a carded Sand Trooper.
Vintage collection.
Yeah, I don't see those too often. Imperial Attack Base. That one looks like the box, but we saw one of these earlier in the video.
Then there's the Turret and Probot set. We have that set, or I have that set from my childhood. And then there's a Rebel Transport in the back. There's an XB-70 Valkyrie model kit. I'd love to have that. We've seen that at the U.S. Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio. What an awesome plane.
We have a Encounter with Yoda on Dagobah. And a bunch of loose G.I. Joe vintage figures.
Quick Kick with his file card. That's pretty cool.
Star Trek figure in the back, and there's a vehicle. And there's a Darth Vader Star Destroyer vintage set for $250. Pretty cool.
Yeah, the box was in really good shape.
We got some vintage, kind of like NES games here. There's Top Gun. We have that.
That was one of my favorite games. I got that game with my NES back when I got it for Christmas that year. So I played that game a lot.
And we got some figures from the Episode 2 collection, it looks like, with a Pikachu there for some reason. And then there's some Atari games. It's pretty cool. 35% off. And then there's some big, like, 12-inch 5 POA figures up there they used to sell. Here's some pretty cool Star Wars stuff in this case. The Darth Maul, like, statue thing there. We have a few of those statues.
There's the garbage compactor scene set. That set's gotten pretty expensive. It's like 2 sets.
1 out of 2 and 2 out of 2. There's a Darth Vader in the back there from Revenge of the Sith.
Is that the lava reflection Vader that's all red?
We got a C-3PO Power of the Force. And then some Episode 1 figures. It's a nice case right there with a bunch of vintage stuff. Down below, we got even more stuff. We got some Episode 2 figures. And some more Power of the Jedi and Power of the Force Episode 1 figures. And yeah, there's a Tatooine accessory set with that little poncho there.
Yeah, Soft Goods poncho from, I guess that's from Qui-Gon. He wore that in Episode 1.
Some more Power of the Force. And then some more Episode 2 and Episode 1 figures and vehicles and sets down there.
A lot of cool stuff in this case.
Yeah.
From Power of the Force and...
And here is the little room that we love to go to. They usually have a bunch of Black Series and Vintage Collection stuff. Terrible head sculpt, Peter Quill.
Here's a Galactic Marine from the 30th anniversary Star Wars series with the gold foil and gold coin. You don't see that every day.
And then here's a case that has some newer figures that are also selling them for double the price. We got a deluxe Boba Fett there, some Power of the Force, and there's Fennec Shand.
Yeah, we really want to get that figure, but we don't want to pay that much for it, so hopefully we'll find it at Walmart or Target for retail price.
And there's some Marvel figures. The Agent Venom is pretty cool down there. And then they have Defender Strange. We actually did a video on that. And what is that? It's like some big mask
I
alien
think
thing.
that's from Attack from, what is it called? The Attack from Mars movie from the 90s. There's the Munsters coach, diecast vehicle. Those have gotten really expensive lately.
We got an HO scale Star Wars train. That would be pretty cool to have. It's a Han Solo car up there. It doesn't look like it's complete, but that would be pretty nice to have. There's just some cards and some G.I. Joe in this case. And there's a Rattler.
Complete Rattler for $99. Yeah, that's pretty nice, including the figure Wild Weasel. And then probably the most expensive item we saw, the Power of the Force Darth Vader from the vintage Kenner line, with the coin and everything. So that is really cool. $800. Wow.
Cool to have. We got some loose figures, mainly G.I. Joe. And then some loose G.I. Joe vehicles.
Yeah, I love seeing all this G.I. Joe stuff. Brings back a lot of memories.
And then we got some Star Wars miscellaneous stuff down here.
There's a
Including-
vintage TIE fighter in there.
Yeah. And here's another scalper case with a Droids Boba Fett for $28, I think it said.
Oh, wow. Almost double the price.
A bunch of those carbonized figures right there. And then a bunch of newer figures that you can't really find anywhere. 212th Battalion Clone Trooper, that one just came out. Some vintage
Yeah,
collection.
Walgreens exclusive. I would check your Walgreens stores before paying secondary market prices for that figure, because a lot of Walgreens stores are getting that figure in.
Yeah, there's a lot of Black Series and Star Wars stuff in here. Some newer and older stuff that is really hard to find.
The Vendor board game from, the video game of the 80s. And we're going to finish up this video with some Indiana Jones figures. You don't see these a lot, and it's really cool. I was really wanting to get a couple of these, not really any from the Crystal Skull like Mutt Williams. I could do without him, but like I think Sala was in there from Raiders Lost Ark, and the Monkey Man from Raiders Lost Ark. I'd love to have those two figures. But this series has gone way up too.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see the new Indiana Jones figures that they're putting out. Hopefully for the new movie coming out soon.
Yeah, I guess we'll see those next year. I know Hasbro's going to do a line, and I think they're doing a line of 6-inch figures too. So, but it'll be interesting to see if they come back out with these 3.75-inch figures.
Especially with the new technology that they have for making figures today. They could remake these figures and make them really nice, up to date.
Yeah, there's Sala with the torch. I'd love to have that figure. Thank you for joining us on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give this video a like, subscribe to our channel if you're new here, and leave us a comment down below. Alex, take us out.
May the Force be with you, always.